Shalom, shalom. This is Mah Balyashar Allah Banaparium. This is Mah, son of Israel, son of Ephraim. And before I get started, I'd like to give all praises and honors to my power, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh by Hashem Rakakadash. Shalom to the Akim Akwath and the Maya that tuned into this video. That is peace to the brothers, sisters, and children that's tuned into this video. I want to go do a quick lesson discussing how the Northern Tribe ended up in Babylon the Great, aka America, or Azareth, or Ophir, or how we ended up over there. Because we do talk about how, the rest of the tribes got here, but we don't really. A lot of times we don't discuss how the Northern Tribe got here. But if we were to go by what Esau would say, they would say they got here by the Bering Strait myth, which is a myth. It's not true. Different anthropology, they have denounced this myth and said it's not true. That it's impossible for it to be true. In the Pangea, they said that they walked across a land bridge, and that's how they ended up in so-called America, which is Babylon the Great. But through the Bible, according to the Bible, that's not how they got here. So we're going to be reading out of the book of Second Esdras, chapter 13. This book is 2nd Esdras chapter 13 verse 40, and it reads, "Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Osea the king, whom Salamazar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land." So at this point, the northern tribes, they were not with the whole 12 tribes, because they were this is when the King Rehoboam, King Solomon's son, was reigning, one of the worst kings ever rule over Israel. He gave them over into slavery to the Assyrians. That's why it says that the king of the Assyrians. Right here, this is the book of 1 Kings chapter 11 verse 12, and it reads, "Notwithstanding in thy days I will not do it for David thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son." That's going into rending the northern kingdom out of the hand of King Rehoboam. And that's why they, again, going into the fact that they were enslaved in Assyria. Now I would also like to tell you this: the northern tribe came into Babylon roughly 600 years before Yahushua came on the scene. So Yahushua has not came on the scene yet at this point in time when all this stuff is happening. This is a book of 2nd Esdras chapter 13 verse 41, and it reads, "Where they took this counsel among themselves, that they would have leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a country where never mankind dwelt." There's never been, nobody has ever colonized Babylon at this point. No one has ever been there at that point. They have Salakia. They go there and get like resources and gold, because especially Salakia. The king is the matter of fact, let's keep it short and simple. At this time over there, Europe is known as the bottom pit. They don't have a lot of resources. A lot of times they came over to Ophir, aka Babylon, aka America, to get all these resources like wood, gold, coal, all these different things. But no one has ever actually colonized it. No one is living over there. So the northern tribe would be the first people to go over there, actually colonize it, and make it their home. But they might keep their statues, which they never kept in their own land. This is going to the fact when they go over there, they're going to actually try to keep their own statues, because when they were in captivity of the Assyrians, were not able to do that. They're going to actually try to continue to keep the commandments. That's why sometimes, if you look at what the Native Americans were wearing, they would wear like fringes on their So like, I can't think of the word. I don't know why I can't think of the word, but there were fringes on the clothing. If you look at if you look it up, there's it was the 10 Commandments written in Paleo Hebrew, found in New Mexico. So they were attempting to follow those commandments and keep the commandments, because they never kept it before. This is the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 13 verse 43, and it reads, "And they entered to the Euphrates by narrow places of the river." So if you look at it, Euphrates is a narrow narrow river. Let's look at the map. Let's look at the map. Bring this up to you guys, Salakia. Images. All right, cool. This is good. Right. So there's the Euphrates River, and they traveled through the Euphrates, and it emptied out into the Persian Gulf, and then it from the Persian Gulf emptied out into the Indian Ocean. Now at this time, there's no oceans. The Bible they talk about the seas. That's why there's seven seas. You know, especially because it's before this is seven seas. But they emptied out into the Persian Gulf into the Indian Ocean. This book is Second Esdras chapter 13, verse 44, and it reads, "For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over." Now, some people may be confused, talking about held over the flood. I know I was when I first went over this, and I had to talk to the elder Sakalad to help break it down for me. So the elder Sakalad and the brother Zakar to help break it down for me. Not going into the flood because this is way after Moses' time, but it's going into the fact that it controls the waters. As it goes, everything flows into a bigger body of water, and when you cross that threshold, the water could be real rough. So basically, what it was doing Yahushua was protecting them on their journey, because Yahushua is with them the entire time. We'll touch into that going on to the later precepts. We go to First Chronicles chapter 12 verse 32, and it reads, "And the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding at times to know what Israel ought to do, and the heads of them were 200, and their brethren were at their commandment." This is going at the Issacharites. They were very good at like being able to navigate. They were good with the stars. They look at the stars. That's why they got they made the Mayan calendar or the Aztec calendar. They were very good at being able to navigate what's going on. So it was able to help us get to our destination. And this is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 7, just going into what we were just talking about. "Are the rivers run into a sea, yet the sea is not full, unto the place where whence the rivers can't come, thither they return again." On to the fact they go into bigger bodies of water, and the Lord was with them, protecting them, making sure they were safe on this journey. Let's go to This is the book of Second Esdras chapter 13, verse 45, and it reads, "For though the country there was a great way to go, namely about a year and a half, the same region is called Azareth." So it's talking about a year and a half. Now I got to go through. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna put it in the comments. I don't want to break it down incorrectly, but it says to go all the way around the world. It takes 3 years. So if you're not going all the way around the world, you're going halfway. That would have to be a year and a half. I'd have to go a year and a half, which is proving where it comes from. Now they say they go to a region called Azareth. Someone say, "What's Azareth?" Now earlier we brought out that Azareth is another surname for America, aka Babylon the Great, which is another surname, and so is Ophir. But here, let's go this to the Jewish Encyclopedia. "To the name of the land beyond the great river, far from the habitation of men, in which the 10 tribes of Yashar'Allah will dwell." So they know that this is where they were staying at. "Observing the laws of Moses," going into the fact that they will keep the commandments in this land until the time of restoration. Columbus identified America with this land. So even the heathen know what was going on. The heathen know who we were the whole entire time. That's why they were doing it. But look, Columbus identified America with this land as Azareth. As what? As Azareth is where the northern tribe would be at. The northern tribes would be at. Salakia tribes. Now, let's go, because let's go into here. Let's go to from Babylon Timbuktu. It's okay to go on some scholarship sometimes. We're going to talk about how, now we understand the travel, how the northern tribe got to Babylon the Great, America. But now we're going to touch into a little bit of the rest of the tribes, because at this point they were separate. This is going into the southern tribes right here. This is from Babylon from Timbuktu. Is a very well known author. He studies Hebrew, basically history and all that. It's scholarship. Page 84. We're gonna go right here. "In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem, In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During this period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrageous atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated over 1 million Jews led into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave market was full of black Jewish slaves. Again, doubling down. One, knowing that these people know who we were. Now, granted, I'm pretty sure the author of this book was an Israelite. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, Salakia. But these people know who we were, and it's the evidence is here. You know, people just have to open it. Just gotta stop being so sadish and be able to go look for knowledge. But it's right there. So let's go. You know, this is northern. Oh yeah, northern. Remember, northern tribes are already gone. This is from 65 AD to 70 AD. Let's go to. Let's go here. No. Let's go here. Slakia. This is the book of Luke chapter 21 verse 20. That reads, and when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know the desolation thereof is nigh. Again, going into the armies coming over. The General Vespasian and their son Titus put an end when the Roman armies came. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 59 verse 19. So shall they fear the name of Ha-Adonai Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rise of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Ha-Adonai Yahweh shall lift up a standard against them. Again, that's going into the Romans coming in and capturing and overtaking the rest of the tribes, the southern tribes. This is all if you be able to read throughout the precepts, and if the Lord gives you the spirit to understand a lot of stuff in history, a lot of the history backs what's in the Bible. You read what's in the Bible, then you can look it up and you'll see what is in the Bible is true. It has happened. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 6, and it reads, and a woman fled into the wilderness where she had placed to prepare the power that they should feed her their it's right one. Her 1,203 square days. This is going to fact when we were wandering in the wilderness because we were fleeing from these persecutions. We were in which we ended up in West Africa. Now, if you know your history, that's where the transatlantic slave trade happened, and that's when they brought these so-called African Americans, which are really just Jakes, the Israelites, across the ocean into Babylon the Great, Afir, Azareth, America. So you say, okay, so why are we here? We're talking about the northern tribe because this precept right here is very important to prove all together that the northern tribe was already here because they came over here. Now they're bringing the rest of the tribes over here. Jeremiah 50:33, thus saith Ha-Adonai Yahweh of hosts, the children of Yashar'Allah and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast and refused to let them go. We are oppressed together in this land. We were brought back together, being pressed together, and our captives, the people that own this land, that run this world, will not let us free. They will not let us free from their doctrine, not let us free from that yayan, the wine. When I say wine, I mean but they push that doctrine, that philosophy, the way of life, the wayward doctrine of life, the do as you will life, way of life. They would not let that go. They were not. They're going to put that on us and try to put us on us as much as possible. But that's why I brought that out, because to show that we will all be gathered together and we will be pressed together. But Adoratazah, lesson was edifying and able to give you peace. We gotta give all praises and honors to my power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Shalom, 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 Shalom to the Akim Magwath and the bind that tuned into this video. That is peace to the brothers, sisters, and children that tuned into this video. Shalom.